Good morning. Good morning. I would like to call this meeting to an order. Welcome to the June 2024 Greenwood County Democratic Party breakfast meeting. Thank you all for coming out on such an absolutely beautiful June morning. I hope it stays like this forever, but we do know that 95 degrees and muggy is just hiding around the corner waiting to leap out on us as soon as we walk out that door. All right, if I could call to the stage Mr. Bill Farthing, veteran of the U.S. Air Force, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and kick this meeting off. For those of you who are new to our breakfast meeting, we have a tradition where we put a special emphasis on the final two words of the pledge. So say that part just a little louder. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Please be seated. I want to open up with some thanks. I want to thank the people who arrived early this morning and even worked yesterday afternoon to help set up. So a round of applause to Gwen and Kathy and Jamil and Tori and others who showed up early who made this all happen. For those that don't remember, there was once upon a time we would meet at a restaurant for our breakfast meetings and people would have to pay $10 a plate to get their breakfast, and we can only fit maybe 30, 40 people. And it's just great to see how far we've grown, and thanks to your generosity, we're able to provide meals through donations and reimbursements, and the people who have set up and volunteered to put this all on. It's not a one-person show, so don't ever think that. It's truly a group effort to make this a special event, the best in the nation. Before I go too far, I want to take a moment of personal privilege. This has been an extraordinary 2 days for me personally. There's been some major national, international news, of course, and that kind of made me very distracted, but then also got some unfortunate news yesterday that I want to share with you before we get to our moment of silence. As you know, Jamil and I have been running a podcast for the last year called Black, White, and Blue in the South. And as podcast hosts and as candidates, you get to meet some amazing people across this state. South Carolina is blessed to have such amazing people fighting for our rights and liberties every day. And for those of you who are regular listeners, the last two episodes we released just these past 2 weeks featured two candidates from Anderson, a husband and wife team, Jessica Spearman and Eric Childs. And she's running for state senate against a horrid individual named Richard Cash, and he was running for state house, and it was just neat to interview a husband and wife running for office at the same time. Amazing individuals. They have both been activists. They had been at the state house to testify on behalf of their children, on behalf of their schools, on behalf of their community. And we had developed a friendship with them. We had remained in touch just even as recently as a couple days ago. But then yesterday we learned that Eric Childs passed away in a car accident first thing in the morning on his way home from work. And that sent shockwaves throughout the state as we had lost a true champion. So before we get to our moment of silence, I would like to play a 1-minute video that Eric had cut, not as part of his campaign, but as part of a movement where he was fighting for the rights of his transgender teen. And in fact, I don't even think I can say any more words. I will let him speak for himself. So if you would, I'm going to play his 1-minute clip, and then we'll have a moment of silence.
My name's Eric Childs. I'm an Operation Iraqi Freedom combat veteran. To me, serving my country was defense of freedom, fighting for democracy, defending our country in its entirety after we'd been attacked in 9/11. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and I wanted that for my children one day.
To have a dad that is totally supportive of me just makes me feel a lot safer.
I live in a small town in South Carolina. I absolutely believe in protecting my rights, and I absolutely love my trans child. I love my kids. I'll fight you tooth and nail for my kids.
As a combat veteran and very proud father of a trans child, I ask that you respect the sacrifices that were made in the name of freedom for this country and vote no for Bill H4624.
My child has parents that get to decide his health care. The legislators that want to dictate these bills and try to regulate what kind of treatment my son can receive, it's absolutely against conservative ideology because conservatives are typically about small government. To my core, every child deserves to be loved. Every single one of them. If you love your child, I need you to step back and love them enough to believe them when they tell you who they are. Love them at all costs, beyond everything.
So as you can see, Eric was a special individual, but I think first and foremost, he was a father of 4 children that he loved dearly, and that ferocity came through. So if you would, please keep Jessica, his wife, and their kids in your thoughts and prayers, and any others we have lost along the way. It seems like we lose a lot of good ones. And all we can do is keep fighting on their behalf. So if we would, please, a moment of silence. Okay, thank you. Well, with that, I do want to welcome those for whom this is your first time here at the Greenwood County Democratic Party breakfast meeting, and I've seen a lot of new faces today. Would you please raise your hand if this is your first time here? Look around. 5, 6, 7. 7 new faces. We welcome you and we ask you to extend all the friendliness to them so that they come back. We want to grow and we want the word to spread. There is no other party around here that can attract this type of audience on a Saturday morning. Let's walk through the agenda. Because of the last 48 hours, I don't have a ton of slides prepared, so I'm going to rely on this agenda. If you've not received one of these, they have them up at the front checkout desk or at the checkout table, so please bring them or get them or share them with somebody you're sitting with. But we've got a couple of great speakers today. I've got some opening comments and some updates to provide. Then we have Miss Ann Gunby. Where are you, Ann? Hello. Thank you for coming out. She's going to update us on the capital project sales tax update, and I think I misspelled capital on the agenda. That's embarrassing. But we thank you for coming on out. And then Catherine Watt, who came an hour and 20 minutes away to speak with us today about the nonpartisan races, the local races, as well as policy. She is a seasoned policy person, the most seasoned one here, and we look forward to hearing from her. And then we actually will have an open forum today. I want to hear from you because we have a couple of topics. A couple of things have happened recently that might be of interest. A word of warning, our wireless microphone system is not working today. So if you have a question, ask it as loud as you can, and then speaker, whoever's here, please repeat the question because we are recording this through the microphone for others to see later on. So we want to make sure that that question gets relayed to the recording. So instead of a bunch of slides, I am going to walk us through this agenda. So if you would look on the inside, and I want to call out some upcoming activities and events, and then I'm going to talk about something that happened 2 weeks ago.